Muy buenas, sean todos muy bienvenidos a este humilde canal de YouTube en el cual estoy haciendo la saga de Mass Effect. En este tercer episodio, luego de haber sido nombrado espectro por el consejo habiéndoseme encomendado la misión de dar caza a Saren, el anterior espectro que se volvió corrupto, ahora tengo que juntarme con mi tripulación en la nave que me van a asignar para ir en la búsqueda de este personaje. Ahora, antes de comenzar, agradecería se suscribiesen a mi canal y activasen la campanita de notificaciones para recibir noticias cada vez que yo suba nuevo contenido al canal. Sin más preámbulos, comencemos. Muy bien, ya estamos aquí dentro del consejo. Se me ha nombrado espectro para los efectos de dar caza a Saren. Antes de irnos de aquí tenemos pendiente la misión de estos insectoides que tenemos que escanearlos y hablar con las personas que me pueden asignar misiones aquí.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants. Congratulations on becoming the first human Spectre, Commander. I'm certain you'll be up to the challenge.
I appreciate that.
My name is Admiral Kahoku. It's about time the Alliance got one of our own in with the Spectres. We need people like you to deal with our problems.
Is something wrong, Admiral?
I'm getting stonewalled by bureaucratic assholes. Nothing new. Maybe you can help me, Shepard. One of my recon teams was investigating some strange activity out in the Traverse. We lost contact yesterday. Now I can't get clearance to check it out. Suddenly it's a restricted area. But that doesn't apply to you, Shepard. Spectres can go anywhere they want. You could find out why my team dropped out of contact.
I'll find them, Admiral.
I appreciate that, Commander. I was running out of options. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can find anything out through official channels. Won't hold my breath, though.
Ya, o sea, me dieron una... Me acaban de asignar una misión de búsqueda y de rescate. Siempre es importante atender conversaciones, a ver si dan algo interesante.
Maybe, but I wouldn't believe everything you hear.
But that's just it. I'm hearing it everywhere. It's not just isolated rumors.
Do you really think Saren could be involved in something like that without the Council knowing it?
Maybe the Council does know. Everyone already assumes he's just doing their dirty work.
That's dangerous talk. I'd be careful who you mention that to.
I know. But if it's true, shouldn't we be doing something about it?
No, and I'll thank you to keep me out of it if you do.
Nada interesante. Aquí hay otro personaje.
I hope he's okay. I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
Maybe I can help.
Well, maybe you can. You're a soldier, right? You ever head out to the Traverse?
The Traverse is a rough place. We're out there quite a bit.
My brother's the captain of a ship called the Majesty. It was crossing the Traverse a few days ago when it disappeared. Just dropped right off the grid. And that usually means one of two things. They had massive mechanical failure, or they were attacked.
Neither one of those options leaves a lot of hope.
I won't give up on my brother. Not yet. I've got the coordinates for the last transmission from his vessel.
What kind of ship was it?
Don't let the name fool you. The Majesty's just a small trading vessel, only a handful of crew. But he kept it in good condition. I don't think mechanical failure is too likely. But they don't have any real weapons or shields. If anyone did come after them, the Majesty'd be a sitting duck.
Isn't anyone else looking into this?
My brother's just a small independent trader. Ships like his disappear in the Traverse all the time.
What's in this for me?
I can't afford to pay you anything. If I had that kind of cash, I'd have hired a recovery team to track him down already. Maybe you could look into this as a personal favor, you know? We humans have to stick together.
If your brother's still alive, I'll find him. Give me the coordinates.
I'll forward them to your ship right away. Please let me know as soon as you find him.
Ya, otra misión de búsqueda y rescate. Esa la vamos a tener que completar una vez que ya tengamos la nave asignada.
Not too many people have free access to the tower. Even less get permission to meet the council.
Vamos saliendo.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Vamos a buscar los cuidadores a los cuales les falta escaneo. Corsarios, marines desaparecidos. Tengo que hablar con el embajador en la zona de embarque.
The keepers never paid much attention to that relay monument. I always found that a little strange.
Buena pregunta, algo es eso.
This place is a little too perfect. They're hiding something.
Ya, esta estructura algo tiene de relevante. Es sospechoso que todo el mundo dé una opinión sobre esa estructura, esa escultura, no sé qué puede ser. Pero algo pasa con eso. Helena Blake.
Got a moment, Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures, but their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
O sea, me está diciendo que le haga el trabajo sucio de eliminar 2 criminales en su nombre.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation. I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
A ver, ¿qué hacemos aquí? Estoy como en una disyuntiva, porque resulta que ella ya, quiere desvincularse de estos criminales. Pero ella imagino que también participó en sus operaciones. Lo que pasa es que ahora parece que el negocio no es muy rentable para ella y por eso quiere deshacerse de los 2 criminales. O sea, por un lado, si lo vemos de una forma lógica, me estaría deshaciendo de 2 criminales importantes en la sociedad, que trafican con droga y además con personas. Por otro lado, también le podría estar haciendo el negocio sucio a esta señora, y una vez que yo elimine estos criminales, ella podría hacerse con el poder completo, o sea, obtener el monopolio del negocio sobre el cual se basan estos crímenes. Entonces yo por ahora, yo no sé, yo no quiero colaborar en su trabajo sucio.
Find someone else to do your dirty work. I want no part of a gang war.
Here are the coordinates nonetheless. What you do with them is your decision. Could you really let these men live, knowing that you can stop them? Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Ya, igual me dejó los antecedentes de los delincuentes. Yo sé que por aquí había un cuidador. Aquí está. Perfecto, me quedan 2 más. Aquí está el último cuidador. Este es el último. Perfecto. Me pagaron y me dieron experiencia. Muy bien. Oh. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué le pegaron?
Yeah, what is it?
Why were you tossed out of there?
Doran didn't have a clue what I was doing. He assumed I was cheating.
I know Doran. If he says you're cheating, you're cheating.
I was just tipping the scales in my favor, only as an experiment.
It still sounds like cheating to me.
To you, maybe. But this device is merely intended to simulate situations and record results. Recording losses is easy, of course. Nobody notices those.
Why do you need to record these outcomes?
Ah, now you're getting to the heart of it. I've spent the last 5 years developing a system that can accurately predict wins and losses on the Quasar. I just need a few more recorded wins and I can complete the algorithms.
Can you do that? Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
Does the device help me win?
The device is set to emit a frequency that will slightly increase your odds. Nothing like my system eventually will, but enough to allow you to record your wins more quickly.
What's in this for me?
Keep your winnings. That should be payment enough, I think.
Ya, no voy a ayudarlo a hacer trampa.
I think I'll take my chances the old-fashioned way.
Suit yourself. Well, I have some calculations to do. Goodbye.
Adiós.
Hey, good to see another human in here.
If we weren't on duty, I'd have to show you some of my dance moves. Sir.
You almost never see any keepers in this club. I guess they don't care what happens here. That or the music keeps them away.
Interesante lo que propuso delante Ashley.
A lot of traffic here. How fast do you think those cars are going?
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work. Thanks for getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
You don't sound that happy about it.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around. I haven't had a decent tip since she got back.
Ok, o sea, no está conforme tampoco con que vuelva. Entonces, ¿quién la entiende? O sea, me pidió que la sacara de ahí a toda costa y ahora que está aquí la hermana,
Hey there, welcome to Flex.
no quiere que esté acá.
I'll be right over.
¿Quién la entiende?
Welcome to Flux. Name's Doran. What can I do for you?
Is this a casino?
No me diga.
Among other things, yes. We've got some quasar stations, if you're interested.
Are you the owner?
Owner, cook, and bartender. I've even been known to dance a little when the mood strikes me. We've got some quasar stations, if you're interested.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your time here at Flux.
Nada relevante. Oficial Lang.
Hey, I know you. You're Shepard, right? I was on Mindwar during the Blitz. Saw you on the vids when you got your medal. You saved the whole colony.
Looks like you have a fan.
I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd meet someone like you in person. My name's Lang, Officer Eddie Lang, Citadel Security. It's an honor to meet you, Commander. What are you doing down here in the wards? Anything I can help you with?
Do you know a CSEC officer named Harkin?
I shouldn't really say too much. He's been on the force a lot longer than me. But I've heard things, you know? Drinking on the job, taking bribes, that kind of thing. Rumors mostly, but they suspended him, so some of it must be true.
Why'd you join Citadel Security?
I don't know. Seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Maybe it's in my blood. My grandfather was a cop back on Earth. It's kind of what CSEC is. Police for the Citadel. I'm still pretty new at it, but I like it so far. Way more interesting than staying back on Earth. You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens, like those Hanar. Wild. Plus, CSEC gets a lot of respect here. We uphold the law. People, even aliens, appreciate that.
How do you like working here on the Citadel?
This place is amazing. I've been here almost a year, and I still haven't seen a tenth of it. The Presidium's just so beautiful. Good place to go and relax. But I really like it here down in the wards. There's always something going on somewhere. Like that new club they just opened a few months ago, Flux. Wicked scene in there, Commander. You should check it out when you have some time.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Just the stuff they show in the vids. They always make them out to be super agents on secret missions to save the galaxy. I know it's not really like that, though. Some of the other CSEC guys don't like them too much. Figure they shouldn't be able to operate outside the law. But if they were so bad, the Council wouldn't use them, right?
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
Buena conversación. pero no aporta mayores antecedentes que sean relevantes para nuestra historia.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Ok. Me dieron una misión, a lo mejor tengo que rescatar a ese director Burns que tienen de rehén. Complejo. Yo creo que me estaré retirando nomás de la estación.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars. Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni. In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible.
Ya, ahora vamos a embarcarnos en la Normandy.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
What happened?
I failed. I couldn't make the cut. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the proteanas. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara T. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Ya, yo creo que voy a empezar por ella, por rescatar a esta chica, la hija de la señora Venecia.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Ya, muy bien. Veamos qué más nos puede decir Anderson. Puede contarnos más sobre, quizás sobre su pasado con Saren.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Soni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
Ya, lo demás ya lo conversamos.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Ya, abordemos la nave.
You always see a few civilians hanging around the academy waiting to speak to an officer about some problem or other.
CSEC seems more like a military operation than a police force.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander, 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
Genial. Hablemos con Joker, a ver qué nos puede decir.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
O sea, él dice que, bueno, o sea, tiene el tremendo ego igual al decir que es el mejor piloto de la galaxia. Y yo la verdad es que no lo dudo. Sin embargo, él cree que le estoy quitando mérito por una enfermedad. ¿A qué se refiere?
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Oh, qué terrible, el pobre tipo tiene como estos huesos de cristal que se derrumpen con facilidad. No, y de verdad creo que hay casos así que existen de gente que tiene esas enfermedades terribles, Dios mío.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
Ok.
I have to go.
Alright, see you.
Igual terrible la condición médica de Joker. Eso de vivir con los huesos de cristal debe ser terrible.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander, this won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
Se refiere a mis inicios como en el ataque skyliano, donde se supone que yo defendí una colonia y de unos piratas, creo que era eso, sin refuerzo.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Me encanta la música. Por aquí está Geth en elenco. Hablemos con él, a lo mejor me da información sobre su vida u otros antecedentes.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
No hay mayores antecedentes. ¿Qué hay acá? Módulo de descanso. ¿Estos son como cápsulas criogénicas? Imagino yo que es eso. Bajemos a la bodega de carga. A lo mejor acá hay más diálogos con más compañeros. Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Okay.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Se refiere a la genofagia, que es esta mutación genética que le aplicaron los turianos, que son esta raza como la de Garrus que está tras mío, y los salarianos, que son como esos hombres rana. Que resulta, como yo les expliqué previamente, estos sujetos, los Krogan, intentaron expandirse por la galaxia, conquistando mundos, exterminando pueblos enteros, y entre todo ese conflicto también destruyeron su propio planeta con bombas nucleares. Entonces, al destruir su mundo y viendo que era una amenaza para toda la galaxia, estas dos razas, los turianos con los salarianos, diseñaron una mutación genética que se la distribuyeron a través de la comida y el agua a estos seres, los Krogan. Y ocurre que con esa mutación, de los bebés que nacen, solamente sobrevive 1 de cada 1000. Entonces, con eso como que mantuvieron, si se puede decir de alguna forma, controlada la población. Porque más adelante veremos por qué hicieron eso.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Ese es el problema que él menciona, que dice que no se consideran un pueblo colono, sino que se consideran un pueblo guerrero. Entonces da la idea de que ellos siempre buscan peleas, siempre buscan guerra o alguna excusa para entrar en algún conflicto. Entonces eso fue lo que alarmó a las otras razas del Consejo, en el sentido de que consideraron que los Krogan eran un peligro público, y por eso tomaron esa drástica decisión de reducir su población.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Ya, o sea, ahí nos cuenta un poco acerca de su historia, como pueblo y personal también.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
Ah, lo mismo que dijo en antes.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut...
The Geth are perfect ambushers.
Sir, I'll make sure it doesn't...
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Ya, perfecto. O sea... Ese señor de ahí es un vendedor, así que al final hablaré con él antes de desembarcar.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ya. Es una nave experimental, se supone, que tiene habilidades stealth. O sea, para hacerse invisible.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government?
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Aquí viene el tema de que ellos crearon a los Geth, que son estas máquinas que se volvieron más inteligentes que sus creadores y les quitaron su mundo. Básicamente eso está explicando ella.
You had to know it would blow up in your face.
The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Claro. Pero es que no sé si decir que se defendieron. Porque es que son máquinas, no son seres vivos, no son orgánicos, son máquinas. Entonces, es complejo. Pero bueno, como este personaje es bueno, como lo que se responde a la parte superior es como lo virtuoso, así se puede decir.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Que ese es el tema, no son seres vivos. Vuelvo a insistir que son máquinas. Son máquinas a las cuales sus creadores los dotaron de inteligencia. Entonces, como tal, es complicado.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Ok, subí de nivel y bueno, lo que nos acaba de explicar Tali es que básicamente producto de ese exilio que sufrieron los quarianos, los sistemas inmunológicos de estos se debilitaron con los años. Hay que pensar que llevan 300 años vagando en el espacio. Y eso no es menor. No es menor. Este señor vende cosas.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Ya esto es lo que vende. Vende cosas igual buenas, aunque cuestan muy caro. Todavía no puedo darme el lujo de comprarlas. Pero bueno, salgamos de aquí. Ya, yo creo que ahora nos vamos a dirigir a Artemis Tau a buscar a la doctora T. Soni, Liara T. Soni. Es un personaje fundamental en la historia de Mass Effect. Transmisor MRL, ¿qué es esto? Bueno, ahí lo hemos examinado. Vamos en busca de la doctora T. Soni. Me encanta esa música. Ahí ustedes pueden leer, si lo pausan, pueden leer los antecedentes de la ciudadela en la que estamos. A medida que exploremos planetas voy a hacer eso. Dejaré que ustedes coloquen pausa y puedan leer lo que dice, para no extender más el video. Solamente voy a leer los mundos que me parecen realmente importantes. Vamos a buscar a Liara. Empecemos por Macedonia. Ya, esto es lo que hay acá. Siempre hay que buscar los cinturones de asteroides. A lo mejor encontramos algo de valor. Un asteroide. Hay algo, ¿ven? Asteroide metálico. Un asteroide rico en metales. Y si lo prospectamos dice que obtuve titanio. Perfecto. Siempre es bueno hacer exploraciones. Este planeta se puede aterrizar en él, pero aquí no es donde hay que buscar a la doctora T. Soni. Aquí se puede prospectar. Planeta terrestre. Y obtuve lo siguiente: escritos de una matriarca. Estabas analizando el planeta Porolan cuando has captado una extraña señal proveniente de la órbita. El navegante Presley ha descubierto que procede de una antigua baliza. Tu equipo de salvamento ha traído a bordo la baliza y ha encontrado en su compartimento de almacenamiento un escrito de la matriarca de Linaga. No sé quién será ella, pero imagino que es un personaje relevante en la trama de Mass Effect. Patavik. Bueno, no ofrecen mucho. Acá hay otro planeta. En gaseoso. Gigante gaseoso. Me dieron xenón. Perfecto. Y acá al medio no habrá nada. No. Yo creo que... A ver. Creo que no. Sigamos a otro mundo. Vamos a Athens. Ya, empecemos buscando asteroides, cosas así en los anillos de asteroides. Puede que encontremos algo de valor por aquí. Aparentemente no hay nada. Por el centro, ¿no? No, aparentemente no hay nada. Empecemos por los planetas. Faros. Se puede prospectar. Dice, recuperada una insignia turiana. La exploración del planeta Faros ha revelado una base abandonada en Suruna. El grupo de reconocimiento no ha encontrado nada de interés, pero buena parte de los restos estaban marcados con la insignia de la colonia magna. Perfecto, encontramos algo de valor. Quizá podamos venderlo, nos da puntaje, experiencia, no sé. No hay mayores antecedentes respecto a este planeta. Gigante gaseoso, si lo prospectamos, helio. Obtuvimos helio. Perfecto. Acá hay Proteus. Se puede prospectar. Oxígeno. Ahí tenemos los antecedentes. Ponemos pausa y lo podemos leer. Acá hay otro mundo, Salamis. Ok, no hay mayores antecedentes. Y Nuevamente, creo que no hay nada por el anillo de asteroides. No. ¿Algún otro planeta que se me esté escapando? Creo que no. Y ya lo exploré todo. Sigamos explorando. Vamos a Esparta. Revisamos los anillos de asteroides. En el de afuera nada, en el círculo interno. A ver. Cúmulo de asteroides. Y aquí encontramos... disco de datos proteano. Mientras explorabas el campo de asteroides del sistema Esparta, encontraste señales de que podría estar habitado. Se envió un grupo de reconocimiento para que investigara uno de los asteroides más grandes. La roca tenía un pequeño biodomo en funcionamiento, pero ni rastro de habitantes. Lo que sí encontraron fue una consola de datos con un disco de datos proteano intacto en su interior. Notable. Podríamos ver qué es lo que contiene ese disco. A ver qué hay acá. Gigante gaseoso. Obtuvimos hidrógeno.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Hay algo aquí, se puede aterrizar. Ok, pero aquí no es donde está la doctora T. Soni. Después lo vamos a buscar. Nada relevante. Se puede prospectar y encontramos plutonio. Y creo que eso es todo. ¿Y este planeta lo exploramos? Parece que sí, sí. Creo que no hay nada más relevante en este mapa. Vayamos al otro. Nosos. Se puede prospectar nitrógeno. Si exploramos ahora el cinturón de asteroides, a lo mejor encontramos algo. Y el interno, hay algo. Un asteroide metálico. Si lo prospectamos, platino. Y no hay nada más por acá, creo que no. Eso es lo que señalan respecto de este planeta llamado Sacros. Terum. Ya, en este planeta creo que está ubicada la señorita T. Soni. Después al final vamos a aterrizar ahí. Quiero ver qué es lo que hay en estos otros planetas. Nada aquí. Nada relevante me refiero. Ya, esto me interesa. Miren lo que dice este mundo. Armeni es un mundo terrestre con una atmósfera inusualmente tenue de criptón y xenón. Su superficie está compuesta de silicio con depósitos de materiales carbónicos. La primera sonda que sobrevoló Armeni detectó en varias zonas de su ecuador protuberancias extrañamente regulares. Las últimas investigaciones han mostrado que son millones de complicadas criptas a unos pocos metros bajo la superficie, excavadas por una especie capaz de viajar por el espacio que se extinguió hace mucho, los Seiof. Muchas universidades humanas quieren realizar excavaciones arqueológicas, pero las leyes del Consejo establecen que los lugares funerarios son sagrados. Así que el asunto lleva una década en tribunales, y ahí se explica básicamente eso. Paistos creo que ya lo revisamos. Vamos a aterrizar. Ya. Vamos a bajar con Tali y con Williams. Sí. Muy bien, vamos a equiparnos bien. Tali creo que se especializa en escopetas, así que le vamos a mejorar la escopeta y pistolas también usa ella. Ashley, fusiles de asalto, está bien equipada Ashley. Perfecto, y vamos a subir de nivel el equipo porque habíamos subido de nivel antes. Vamos a darle encanto al comandante Shepard y también le vamos a dar entrenamiento de espectro. A Ashley le vamos a subir el nivel de dominio completo de los fusiles de asalto y también le vamos a asignar armadura. A Tali le vamos a dar la siguiente habilidad, le vamos a dar el manejo en electrónica. ¿Esto qué hace? Inflige daño en un radio de 6 metros. Los enemigos no pueden usar capacidades bióticas o tecnológicas durante un breve periodo de tiempo. Vamos a darle esta habilidad, me gustó. Y vamos a hacer que domine las pistolas, pero yo creo que ella se especializa en escopeta. Eso, escopeta. ¿Qué más podemos agregar acá? Eso, amortiguación avanzada. Perfecto. Estamos listos, yo creo. Vamos.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
Ya, tenemos que llegar a una zona de excavación. Por allá quizá. Ahí está. Ahí encontraremos a nuestra doctora T. Soni. Ojalá no tengamos mucha resistencia. Hay que pensar que este juego lo jugué hace ¿cuánto? No, 14, 13 años atrás. Entonces ya no recuerdo muy bien cómo era la mecánica de andar muy bien por estos mundos. Igual he notado que mejoraron bastante el vehículo. O sea, en comparación a la versión original de este juego, ahora se ve como más realista. Cuando se ve que el terreno es irregular, el vehículo como que salta. Entonces eso lo encuentro extraordinario. ¿Qué pasó? No. ¿Qué pasó? Lanzaron máquinas, maldita sea. Oh no. Muerto. Sigamos. ¿Qué pasó acá? Hay torretas.
No-go. They have height and cover.
No. Creo que está bloqueado el paso. Hay que buscar un camino alterno. Por acá se puede ir. Ay no. Me dio. Sigamos. Cuesta un poco manejar el Mako, no estoy acostumbrado a los controles. Había un enemigo por allá, parece, ¿no? Oh, me están disparando. ¿Dónde hay más? Acá. ¿Cuántos más hay? Tenemos que bajar.
Regroup.
Obtuve equipo. Todo esto lo vamos a recoger. A lo mejor yo puedo mejorar las municiones. Ok, mejorar los escudos. Esto es sumidero de calor. esto me voy a colocar yo. Y a Ashley en su fusil de asalto le vamos a colocar esto. El sensor de combate. Perfecto. A Tali en su escopeta, que le vamos a colocar mejora de munición. Estabilidad del arma. Eso, estabilidad del arma. Perfecto. Amortiguación. A Ashley le vamos a colocar también sellado tóxico. Endurecimiento. Y a mí me voy a colocar... Ah, yo creo que yo la tengo, sí. Tengo una mejora. Perfecto. Entremos. Creo que por aquí... No, allá. Allá se puede entrar. Para abrir las compuertas y continuar nuestro viaje. Adentro hay un enemigo.
My people have searched many generations for a world to call home. If we landed here, we'd just keep searching.
Cúbranse. Perfecto, murió.
Securing point.
Aquí encontramos una cajita. Encontramos una escopeta, un fusil de asalto.
That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
Perfecto, abrimos la compuerta. Ahora salgamos de acá. Hay que abrir la otra compuerta que está allá. Revisemos bien lo que hay aquí. Pueden haber cosas, armamento, mochila, o sea, equipo que nos mejore nuestra calidad de vida. No, aquí no hay nada. Acá hay una caja. Perfecto. Acá hay algo más. Pero parece que no hay nadie adentro. Hay algo ahí, una kit de mejora. Munición de impacto y perforante. Perfecto, yo creo que eso se lo vamos a colocar a Tali en su escopeta. Ahí. Por acá había otra sala.
Regroup.
Hay un enemigo acá.
Regroup.
Oh no. Lo maté. Genial, subí de nivel. Decodificamos esto. Perfecto, Banshee. Amplificador biótico.
All targets down.
Abramos la compuerta. Y lo bueno es que subimos de nivel.
I think my eyeballs are dried out.
Ya, entonces vamos a subir de nivel. Vamos a darle estabilidad para revivir a mis compañeros. Y al mismo tiempo voy a agregar esto, sabotaje excepcional. Y vamos a mejorar en los primeros auxilios. Ashley va a mejorar su armadura. Quiero que ella pueda estar habilitada para usar armaduras pesadas. Mejora de escudo. Y vamos a darle un punto a entrenamiento. Tali por su parte va a mejorar su uso en escopetas. Y en amortiguación. Mecánica guardiana. Eso. Listo. Subimos de nivel. Ahora continuamos con nuestro viaje. Este es como un mundo minero. Tenemos que ir por acá, parece. Que ya me están disparando ya. ¿Cuántos son? Ahí hay otro. Más naves. ¿Hasta cuándo van a seguir tirando porquería? Muerto. Fallé, maldición. Muerto. Por acá hay soldaditos. Ese gigante. Wow. Muerto. Salió volando ese. Se desintegró. Y aquí tenemos que seguir hacia allá. Ingresamos por el túnel. Más enemigos. Muertos. ¿Cuántos más hay acá afuera? Deben haber más. Muertos. Hasta aquí llegamos, tenemos que seguir a pie. Encontramos equipo. Armaduras. A ver si podemos mejorar esto. Protección blindada, nivel 3. Lo mismo Ashley. Vamos a ver si le podemos dar protección blindada. Perfecto. A Tali le vamos a dar otro tipo de protección, que es este de acá. No, protección blindada también le vamos a dar. Pistolas. Ya. Ashley. No, está bien. Yo me voy a colocar un fusil de asalto más avanzado. Le voy a colocar munición de impacto. Y le voy a colocar mira mejorada. Voy a usar el fusil de asalto a lo mejor. A pesar de que no tengo experiencia en arma, posiblemente el fusil de asalto sea mejor.
On me.
A ese de ahí hay que tirarle alguna habilidad.
Form up.
Se murió. Genial.
Huddle up.
That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
Even the Geth wouldn't want to live in this heat.
Like an oven here.
Vamos, muévanse, muévanse. Oh, están disparando.
Charging up.
Veremos si Tali le puede lanzar una bola de fuego a ese loco. No le hace mucho daño. Muerto. Hay un francotirador ahí arriba. Voy a ver si me puedo acercar más. Muerto. ¿Qué fue eso? Alguien que le lance un poder a ese loco.
Good to go. Huddle up.
Muerto.
Regroup.
Not in the middle of a fight.
Cúrense. Casi me matan.
All targets down.
Ya, a ver, del equipo que recogimos un kit médico, mejora de armadura. A ver, ¿y qué hace esto el kit médico? Ah, me da regeneración de salud. Pongámonos eso. Me voy recuperando la salud a poquito. Creo que estamos llegando al destino final, sí. Allí hay que entrar. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Una nueva especie de Geth? Ah, no, regiro. Ah, pero esta vez vamos a pie, tenemos que derribar esa porquería gigante. ¿Cuántos son? Cúbranse. Tengo bloqueado el armamento, me lo sobrecalentaron. Maté a uno. ¿Cuántos son? La misión tengo sobrecalentado el armamento. Muerto. Vamos, vamos. Otro menos. Vamos, vamos. Oye, el tipo no aguanta mucho castigo ese. Muere, maldito. Recuperar los escudos y voy a correr hacia acá. ese tipo de allá arriba que molesta. Oh, lo he matado. Cúbrete. Creo que lo maté. Oh, maldición. Molestan bastante. Murió ese. Murió. Falta uno. Está escondido por acá. Ahí está. Se escondió el desgraciado. Hay que eliminarlo. Muere. Perfecto. Despejamos. Equipo. Encontramos eso. Mejora de munición, de armadura. Pistolas nuevas. Ya. Yo me voy a equipar. Tenemos mejora de granadas. No. Ashley tiene la posibilidad de usar... Ah, no le conviene. A ella, a Tali... No. Y la mejora de armadura ya tiene protección blindada. Le vamos a dar 3 niveles de protección blindada. A ella lo mismo. Perfecto, entremos. Voy a guardar por si acaso. Antes de eso voy a subir de nivel a mis personajes. Voy a aumentar el nivel del dominio de electrónica. Sobrecarga excepcional. Ashley por su parte va a mejorar su habilidad de soldado. Y le voy a mejorar el entrenamiento a asalto. Y le voy a asignar... A ver qué otros puntos puedo asignarle. Yo creo que esto lo vamos a mejorar. Su supervivencia. En cuanto a Tali, voy a mejorar su dominio con las escopetas. Al mismo tiempo voy a mejorar su habilidad con... electrónica quizá. Sí. Sigamos. Y voy a guardar por si acaso. La partida la vamos a guardar acá. Solo por si acaso. Así que continuemos. Ya veo a alguien que se viene acercando. 2 enemigos acercándose. Oh no. Muerto. ¿Cuántos son? Vamos a lanzarle esa habilidad. Rompimos los escudos. Murió. Falta uno. Está acá abajo. Ahí está. Murió. Fantástico. Síganme, síganme. ¿Qué habrá por acá? Nada.
It looks like this cavern formed around the ruin after it was built. You lead, I'll follow.
Me encanta Tali.
Ready.
Sigamos. ¿Y qué hay acá? Es como un escudo protector. Estas son las ruinas proteanas de las que hablaban Que estaba estudiando Liara. Parece que es un complejo enorme el que está sepultado acá. De proteanos, o sea, de ruinas proteanas. Porque obviamente los proteanos están extintos. O eso al menos se dice. Es la versión oficial. Y por lo que voy entendiendo, fueron exterminados por los segadores, que son estas máquinas gigantescas, como las que vimos al principio. Ese como calamar gigante metálico que volaba. Me rompo los escudos, cúbranse. Muertos.
Proteans built to last. Looks like a lava flow poured in here.
Pero esto es gigante. ¿Qué pasó? Oh no, falló el ascensor. Bajaremos por las malas. Me encanta Tali. Lástima que no puedo tener un romance con ella en este juego.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Please?
Ella es Liara. La encontramos.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
How'd you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth, beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Ya, o sea...
I'm right here.
Tenemos que... Oh, no, me disparan. Vengan, vengan, síganme, síganme. Oh, lanzaron un cohete. Hay que bajar. Cúbrete allí. La misión. Oh no, yo voy a tener que cubrirme. Estoy muy expuesto ahí. Pero cúbrete. La puntería de Shepard es terrible aquí. Con esta clase que elegí de... Maldición, bajaron a... Cayó mi compañera Ashley. Voy a usar el poder de reanimación. Alguien que le pueda tirar un poder a este, no, nadie tiene poderes. Oh no, munición. Es que no hay cobertura aquí. Ahí murió uno. Voy a ver si puedo usar un poder en este. Ahí. Muerto. Cúbranse, cúbranse, cúbranse. Muere, maldito. Muerto. Alguien que le tire un poder a ese. Ahí murió. ¿Cuántos quedan? Creo que estamos listos. Sí. Voy a desbloquear estas cajas. A lo mejor encontramos artefactos o armamento. Ya, encontramos eso. Anulación manual. Listo. Un rifle de asalto y una pistola. ¿Qué más podemos encontrar acá? ¿Qué arma está ocupando Tali? No debería ocupar eso, debería ocupar escopeta. Eso. Y a ver qué armamento tenemos. Un kit médico. Ya. Entonces, por ejemplo, yo aquí tengo un fusil de asalto. Se lo voy a pasar a Ashley porque ella ocupa mejor los fusiles de asalto que yo. En cuanto a escopeta, a ver, Tali, no, ya tiene una que es mejor. Pistolas, lo voy a pasar, a ver, esta a Shepard. No, la Stinger es mejor. Pero a Ashley, o sea, a Tali le vamos a pasar esa pistola. Y le vamos a poner mejoras, por ejemplo, que tenga munición de impacto y eso, retroamortiguador. Ashley por su parte tendrá equipado el sensor de combate. Le vamos a poner una mira mejorada. No, dejémoslo ahí por ahora. En cuanto a armaduras, hay mejoras. Protección blindada. Yo me voy a colocar en armadura. Kit médico está listo. Ya sigamos. Abajo, derecha, izquierda, arriba y abajo. Ah, me equivoqué. Izquierda, arriba y ahí sí. Es un taladro. Abrí un orificio acá. Aquí tenemos que entrar a las ruinas proteanas. Esto es gigante. Miren el tamaño de este complejo que dejaron los proteanos. Es una brutalidad.
You lead, I'll follow.
Allá está Liara. Vamos por ella.
How did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We have to get you out of here before more Geth arrive.
Yes, you're right. I've seen enough of them to last a lifetime. That button should shut down my containment field.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on! I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit. Think fast, Miss Protean expert.
The conduit? But I don't know.
Qué desagradable, Ashley. Es así porque es celosa ella.
What the hell was
es tóxica
that?
La loca.
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event.
Está rodeado de puras mujeres.
We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
El comandante Shepard se rodea de puras mujeres, por eso debe ser celosa quizás la chica porque le gusta. Me refiero al comandante, se siente atraída por él.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
Este complejo es gigante. Miren el tamaño de esto.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
In case you didn't notice, this place is falling apart.
Exhilarating, isn't it? Thanks for getting rid of those energy fields for us. Hand the doctor over.
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
She'll stay with us, thanks.
Not an option. Saren wants her.
and he always gets what he wants. Kill him. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
¿Cómo le pregunta a ese? Mato esos dos. Se me hizo recalentó el arma. Maldito Krogan viene hacia mí con todo. No le hace nada. Dale, tírale un. Ay, nadie puede matarlo. Murió. Hay que salir de aquí.
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there and your pilot is making jokes?
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
50 años.
How old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours. But among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
Did your research turn up anything interesting?
What is interesting is what I did not turn up. There is remarkably little archaeological evidence of the Protheans, and even less that might explain why they disappeared. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
Buena pregunta, esto es un ciclo, pero ¿y quién estuvo antes que ellos? ¿Que los proteanos?
What cycle? What are you talking about?
The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines. The Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit or Saren.
Se pone celosa, Ashley.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Soni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
Ya, o sea, hemos cumplido la primera misión de rescatar a Liara de las garras de los Geths. Pero antes de continuar me gustaría averiguar qué es lo que opina la tripulación. ¿Qué pueden decirme después de haber llevado a cabo esta misión exitosa de rescate? Empecemos por Joker.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I have to go.
Ya, o sea, más allá de eso, tirarme un chiste rancio, no me dio más antecedentes.
Yes, Commander?
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
I trust you, Commander. If you think they belong here, then so do I.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
Eso ya lo vimos anteriormente.
Of course, the only reason the colony was
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Bajemos a ver, a hablar con los otros tripulantes de la nave a ver qué opinan al respecto. Partamos por elenco.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah. We'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same, but things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Y ahí tenemos como una reseña histórica del personaje de Alenko. Veamos qué nos puede decir la doctora Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Nada nuevo, es lo que nos dijo antes. Liara, a ver.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up...
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
You share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Me dijo que soy fascinante.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Ya eso creo que lo dijo antes.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but
Sí.
couldn't.
You might be right. Benezia never... Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species
You
is
Asari lived for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Ya, ahí descubrimos más acerca de la cultura y de la vida propia de los Asari. Es interesante eso de que se fomenta la idea de mezclarse con otras razas, porque como bien dijo Liara, si se mezclan entre ellas mismas como una misma especie, como que no obtienen ninguna ganancia. Igual lo encuentro extraño, porque ¿qué pasa antes de que las Asari aprendieran a comunicarse? O sea, entraran en contacto con otras especies. ¿Se consideraban impuras? Buena pregunta.
Commander, how are you? Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough, but you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Igual es comprensible.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can, but Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Yo aquí discrepo con el comandante Shepard. Para detener a Saren se requieren métodos extremadamente diferentes.
You have a minute to talk.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
O sea, lo que ella plantea básicamente es que las otras especies alienígenas que no son humanas son similares en el sentido a los perros. Trata de hacer una analogía con eso. O sea, hay que entender que estas razas alienígenas, si bien es cierto, son diferentes a las humanas, pero son racionales. Uno puede dialogar con ellos, razonar con ellos. En cambio, con un perro no. O con cualquier otro animal como un doméstico, como un gatito, un perrito, etc. Entonces, no sé, no tiene lógica la argumentación de Ashley en ese sentido. Yo creo que va más que nada por una apreciación traumática que ella a lo mejor tuvo en el pasado.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
Mainly I wanted to serve. Protect the Alliance, save lives, you know.
Glad to hear it. I'd hate to think you were out here for a free college education.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Ay, ¿por qué no a mí? Ah.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command.
¿Y si se lo pido en vez de ¿Y si se lo pido en vez de ordenarlo? Buena pregunta.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
Sex life. ¿Cómo lo dice?
I don't think she's used to teasing. Good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Es celosa esta chica.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good? He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would've if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Ya, y nos queda hablar con Tali al respecto. Veamos qué nos puede decir. Me encanta Tali a mí. Si no, me encantaría tener un romance con ella.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Me da pena, la historia de ellas ha sido bastante dura. Pero me encanta.
I should go.
See you later.
Bueno, yo creo que por aquí dejaremos el video el día de hoy. Espero les haya gustado esta tercera entrega. Estaré subiendo videos constantemente dentro de lo posible. Agradecería si pudiesen suscribir a mi canal, activar la campanita de notificaciones para así estar avisados cada vez que yo suba nuevo contenido al canal. Así que sin más dilaciones me despido. Muchas gracias por su tiempo, atención y que la fuerza os acompañe. Adiós.